What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Hey, I thank each and every one of you all for coming in, and those who are coming in to watch this video, I appreciate you as well. Coming at you right now, straight from South Africa, here in Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban, where we've been traveling around. I've been trying to give you all just a taste of what locals are talking about, maybe showing you my stories and my experiences that I've been here in South Africa. And though that many people out here really thanks me for giving them this information, to give them a little taste of maybe what to expect, maybe how some things are, some things that exist in the people, in the country, that here in South Africa, I know it makes people's travels a whole lot better. This video ain't for everybody, as I've said before. This video is for those that are in a diaspora, that they can put together not just my videos, but other YouTube videos to maybe get a broader picture of an experience, the things they may need to know, the things they may need to see, the things they'll be able to experience, the things they'll be able to enjoy by these YouTubers who are putting out information. Now, I was told that I was a little bit off balance, and I've been praised, and there's very few people who says that I'm off balance. Many people say I'm probably the most balanced person out there to give you the good, the bad, and the different. But the beautiful thing about us YouTubers is that though that there might be those that I think is just straight positive, and then there are those who believe that I'm just putting out negativity, you can gather the two and have both sides, which is your advantage, isn't it? Because my perception and your perception is different. Now, people don't understand when I say, when here in life, I've come to understand at the age of almost 56, be 56 in 2 more days, that when I am encountering people or I go travel abroad and around the world, I tend to try to find really those things that are not bling, glam, and look good or sound good, whether it's the people, whether it is the country as a whole, whether it is the landscape. I typically try to find those things that might be detrimental, because it's easy to find those things that stand out, that are good. Everybody knows that. I mean, before you have a guest that comes to your house, you clean up and you sweep and you trying to straighten up before the guests come. But if you go in the bathroom and you look in the closet, you find that everything's falling down on you. Or you're sitting there in a house, or you happen to look through the car or somebody's car when they're driving, you see it's all a wreck, but the exterior of the car is all clean and everything, but the interior may not have been really taken care of. Well, been saying all that, I enjoy to where I like to come in and really find what's really some issues that I know that people coming from Western world, especially America, would have a hang up on. Now, some people say that I'm too political. My wife is looking at me because I'm not supposed to be eating with my mouth open. As she says, she thinks it's very rude. I gotta get this down. Thank you, Molly. 56 young, yeah. Hold 1 second. I'll hold it thought. My wife look at me like she's crazy now. She's like, anyway, some think I'm political. I'm just trying to open the eyes up. And not even necessarily trying, I am presenting you with information that only those who have an ear to hear and eyes to see, that they can see some things maybe clear. Because, putting things in a perspective what we're so used to seeing, you may overlook. You know how it is, somebody say something to you, but somebody else come along and say it in a different way. And you're like, oh, I see what you're saying. Here it is, that I understand the pains that African Americans have gone through. And there are many people leaving America that are trying to find a place of peace and not necessarily come into a place, an environment that we have been sick and tired of being part of. I've said this right here. There's some similarities with South Africa, as well as there are some differences when it comes to South Africa. But I know most of the pain because I interview and talk to, and I've experienced for 55 years in damn Erica, put the D in front of America, capitalize the E, damn Erica, that we are trying to escape. Some would say, some are saying that we are trying to leave out of. Some say we are expats. We are, repatriating back into Africa. We got all these different sayings, but the reason why so many of us at this moment in time are wanting to leave, it's because of the system that is in place. Now, everybody has their own reasons. Some say it's racism. Some say it's because of the cop killings. Some say of inequitable treatments or inequalities. Some say that, everybody has their reason. And I've heard them all. Everybody's wishing me a soon-to-be happy birthday. Thank you very much, you all. And those who are soon to have y'all birthdays, I see y'all out there too, whose birthday's coming in. The Leo the Lion. August the 1st. I'm gonna stay on my course, but hey, I have to acknowledge those who are wishing me well and all those right there. Thank you very much for your kind words and all that. So hey, thank you. So what I was saying was that we have to understand that there are people coming into Africa from America that many people don't even understand the history of America. Do you know how many people I've talked about don't know nothing in Africa? A lot of African countries don't know nothing about the Atlantic slave trade. Even those people that are there on the west coast of Africa, where all the slave trades went on with the Atlantic slave trade, so many people don't even know the history. And that blows my mind. Y'all schools don't teach this. Your colleges don't teach this. Some say they do. Some say they don't. There are others that just didn't go through education. A lot of people don't realize what we've endured. They don't know the story, what happened. They still don't even know the story exactly what's happening over in America. So because of my valuable time and money that I spend to be just one of many YouTubers that are out here who is giving information about the countries, the continent, of how things are, changing that story from how they told us Africa was, that I still hear from people who cannot believe that you can be that Africa has skyscrapers and have, Bentleys and Mercedes and have all of these things to offer. But on the other side, we have to be real with ourselves and realize there are still things that we are used to in America that you still can find in Africa. Crime, drugs, killings. That is just the world. And in saying that, very few people will talk about that side of the business. Very people are going to mention that side of the business. I happen to share my experiences when I go, like I've almost got pickpocketed. I got scammed of money. I've got into an argument. It was close to being something physical. I have been through people lying to me and cheating and getting over. And, I have had people take advantage and, all these things that happen anywhere and all that right there. But when you don't have people like myself who's trying to even share that side of the story of my life experience, and they make it seem as though that everything's peachy keen. Well, that is their side of the story. And if you add my side of the story, it gives you even a broader picture for you to understand. But I've shown many a good sides. I tell people right here, come to Africa all day long. 54 countries. Get in where you fit in at. Some are going to love different countries. Some are not. That's why we see some brothers and sisters who try to settle in some African countries and then they uproot and go to another African country. It wasn't for them. In each country that I visit, I've shared before, many African Americans would love South Africa. It is just like America. You want 5-star hotels? They got it. You want fine dinings? They got it. You want to live in posh areas? They got it. You want to drive in your big vehicles? They got it. If you're middle class and you want to live at a middle class place, they have it. They have everything that you would want, like you have in America. If you're on the lower end of the income, they got it. It looks like, sounds like, smells like America here in South Africa. But let's not be fooled into believing, is there crime in South Africa? They got it. Shootings or killing? They got it. They got it. Is there racism? They got it. So you're going to find in most places, you're going to find, especially in a place that is as diverse with almost, and I say diverse. Babe, what was those numbers that we looked up today about the demographics of South Africa? She's going to let me know here. This is the information we found, and I'm quite sure it's not going to be exact, but so here is the difference of South Africa, because in America, there's like 62 to 67% that is Caucasian, where in South Africa, for those who want more of a African Black presence, South Africa has here, according to 2020, 2019, and this is Wikipedia, which is not really a strong source, but we'll just go off of that. It has 80% here in the country that are Black, Africans, if you will. 8.8% are colored. 7.9% are white. 2.6% is Asian. And I would assume now, whether or not they consider the Indians or the Chinese, which as Asian, they would consider them to be Asian. Now the religion, because there's some people who's interested in that. The religion is stating here, according to the Wikipedia in 2016, which I still do not really hold as a strong source, but it's something that it says Christianity is 78%. It says that no religion is 10.9%. Traditional faith is 4.4%. Islam is 1.6%. Hinduism is 1%. Other is 2.7%. It has Protestantism. It has a negative 58.3%. I don't know what that is about. But and then it goes on. So go to Wikipedia, educate yourself, and find out those things that are here in South Africa. I got an audio for y'all. And this audio is from a young man who's South African, who's giving his perspective, his opinion, his view. I took to hear you all out who were complaining about, you're always negative. So I started asking people the positive. Tell me something good about South Africa. And like I said, did I do a live last night? That it is amazing when I ask what is good, share what's good with it, what's going on, this or that, conversation always goes back to the negative. I also interviewed a brother who is middle class. He works for a investment firm. He even shares his view. We'll see if we can get around to that. I might hold that till tomorrow. We'll see. But I believe that we as a people who have a voice, everybody has their opportunity to share their opinions, their views, and we should be men and women enough to at least accept that if you have a right to share your view, everybody else should have a right to share their view. Now, only those who aren't wise enough or those who are mature enough can't handle somebody else's view, because all it is that when you throw your tantrum, you're just wanting that person to think like you. And I'm sorry, I'm a free thinker for myself. And there's a lot of stuff in here. I got my thinking from others that I'm still trying to wash away and find my own experience to have my own story. That's why I said with people is that you just can't go off of people's videos, because you got to experience it for yourself. That's the greatest experience in life. You can sit back and watch many videos and listen to people talk, but it really comes down to you getting out there to get your own experience. So let's get into it, because the topic that I put up here was, does South Africa provide a better government for African Americans? A better government. So let's get into it. Let's listen to a young man here who I interviewed this morning. And I've gotten, what, 6, 7 videos that are sharing about the audios, and some of the couple of videos of the locals that are talking. I've talked to some interviews here in Johannesburg. I got some interviews that were in Cape Town. And this is an interview. I got 2 interviews from Durban, but one was actually on an airplane flying from Durban over to Johannesburg. So I just went around and just really talked to some of the people and then let them provide some information. You have to use information to find out what suits you. For you, those that are in the diaspora. For those that are already here in South Africa, you have your own story. You have your own thoughts. You have your own views about your country that you live in. All right, let's get into it.
Just as though right now there's some problems in our country.
Okay, I asked you the good things.
Good things.
The good things.
No, hold on a second now. Hold up. I asked the guy the good things, and immediately he went to the bad things. But some of my 1% of y'all think that I'm talking so bad about, or I'm trying to find people and I'm interviewing people. No. Tell me something good about your country. Tell me something was good going on. So here we go.
Good thing you keep going back to problems.
Just as though right now there's some problems in our country.
Okay, I asked you the good things.
Good things.
The good things. What are the good things? You keep going back to problems.
It's just no. I'm very irritated. You know, before South Africa, it was a good country, but right now it's keep on, breaking us. You know,
It keeps what?
It keep on breaking us, where whatever that was only before, we are losing it. You know, we're losing value of the money. You know, each and every day, because our rent was very good. The rent, it was very, very good.
The rand's not good now. The money.
When you're having 100 rand, what you can buy now, because things are expensive. It's where it starts there. The rent is very poor now. But the good things is, first of all, we don't have those disguising if you're coming from another country. First of all, because on 100%, there's good people, there's bad people.
Yeah.
So same like when you're taking a client here. Most of the time, I take clients here going to the airports, going to Marrakech or different places.
Yeah.
You get good clients, you get bad clients.
Yes.
Same like you when you're coming in South Africa. You're getting good people where they can tell you about Durban, they can even tell you South Africa.
Yeah.
Good things is, we're rid of those. I'll tell you about the good things.
I've been asking you. I've been asking about the good things.
The good things is we've got everything that you have in South Africa. You know, everything. We've got everything. Like when you come in here, good people, good environment. We owning mines. We owning buildings. We owning almost everything here. So where even you come in here, you can even have a good time with your family.
Okay, good time with your family.
Yeah, good time. The hotels, the sea, transports, you choose which transport you want to take. It depends on you. Yeah, it depends on you which one you want to prefer. Let's say since now you're using an aeroplane, when you're in Durban, you're requesting there's the buses, there's cabs, the accommodation, you choose the accommodation. There's Mhloti that side. Yeah, there's Mhloti. The Mhloti is this side. Yeah.
There's majority.
It's Mhloti. It's UMDLOTI. Mhloti.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is that?
It's a developing place. It's a developing land where there was a sugar cane before.
Okay.
So now they are building houses there.
Who's going to be moving there? The house, can anybody afford? Can you move there?
Me?
Could you afford to move there?
No, I can't.
So, but that's good for you.
It's good for those people, but for us, that's why I'm saying that it tends, each and every year, it tends in a bad way to us because we can't afford those places. Right now, there is a building where it's a red seal building here. I'm sure those investors are coming from other countries.
Yeah.
So you can't afford those buildings. You can't afford. How can you pay 1.2, 1.5 a day just accommodation? There's a lot of things that you need to you have to buy the grocer, to buy this and this and this and that. So this one, it turns in a bad way of we can't afford even those buildings now.
But the good thing you said is they're building.
Buildings, they are there. Where even you're coming from other countries, it's where you can see that it's safety for you.
For me.
Is it Nana, you are coming from other country?
Yeah.
You are coming here just to have you visiting with your friends?
Yeah.
You can go in that building there. You can. It's just an accommodation. It's safe. You understand? Because when you come in here, South Africa, even that place where you're staying in right now, it's a quiet place. First of all, in the morning side.
Yeah.
It's a quiet place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's safe even that place. Okay. So yeah.
But there are Africans who live there too.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
But now who's owning those buildings then?
Who owns them? I don't know.
But these people, the white people, they left the buildings there. They are staying overseas now. So they're renting. Most of the people, they're renting. If they are not renting, maybe they're having a bond. The bond is too much. You understand? Because look at it now. When you put the white person and the black person, when you go to the bank to finance something, they're two different things in terms of finance. Two different things.
Okay.
The high risk, it's a black man. Lower risk, it's a white person.
Okay.
Now, I want to pause right there. I'm not saying nothing. I'm listening. He's done brought up the inequalities of the housing that they're building. They're not building the housings and all these, and it was massive, y'all. There's two towns that are side by side that are where the wealthy live. And I'm like, oh, so they're building the places for you all. No, they're building it for you. And I'm like, okay, so is that good? And he's like, well, you will be able to have to stay in a place that is safe. And I'm like, but you can you afford to stay over there? Because this is my heart, family. What good is it for me to come to a place and really ask about what is considered to be a good place? If the locals aren't benefiting from it, then he's talking about what's good for me. No, tell me what's good for everybody that you can say, what's the joy, the great experience here that I'll have. To me, that sounds miserable when the locals are frustrated because they're watching everything around them go up in price and the housing and all that right there, that they're watching the Europeans come and own everything. That I didn't say that. I'm like, yep, I'm listening to what he's got to say. And so he is explaining all this, but let's continue. Uh-oh.
Land where there was a sugar cane before. Okay. So now they are building. That's why I'm saying that it tends, each and every year, it tends in a bad way to us because we can't afford those places. Right now, there is a building where it's a red seal building here. I'm sure those investors are coming from other countries.
Yeah.
So you can't afford those buildings. You can't afford. How can you pay 1.2, 1.2, 1.5 a day just accommodation? There's a lot of things that you need to do. You have to buy the grocer, to buy this and this and this and that. So this one, it turns in a bad way of we can't afford even those buildings now.
But the good thing you said is they're building.
Buildings, they are there. Where even you're coming from other countries, it's where you can see that it's safety for you.
For me.
Is it Nana, you are coming from other country?
Yeah.
You are coming here just to have you visiting with your friends?
Yeah.
You can go in that building there. You can, it's just an accommodation. It's safe. You understand? Because when you come in here, South Africa, even that place where you're staying in right now, it's a quiet place. First of all, in the morning side.
Yeah.
It's a quiet place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's safe even that place. Okay. So yeah.
But there are Africans who live there too.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
But now who's owning those buildings then?
Who owns them? I don't know.
But these people, the white people, they left the buildings there. They are staying overseas now. So they're renting. Most of the people, they're renting. If they are not renting, maybe they're having a bond. The bond is too much. You understand? Because look at it now. When you put the white person and the black person, when you go into the bank to finance something, they're two different things in terms of finance. Two different things.
Okay.
The high risk, it's a black man. Lower risk, it's a white person.
Okay. So we're trying to still find out what the good is.
Hey, so I'm upset. Hey, I'm very, very upset about you.
Does a lot of people feel the way you feel?
Right. So the good things right now, recently in the 1 week, there is a premier of KwaZulu-Natal. This place.
There's a what?
There's a premier.
Pima.
Pima, it's you see, this is KwaZulu-Natal. This province. This province is KwaZulu-Natal.
Okay.
Yeah. There's 9 provinces that we have. There is KwaZulu-Natal. There is Cape Town. There is Northwest. There is East-West. So which means there are almost 9.
Okay.
Right? On those 9, this is KwaZulu-Natal.
Okay.
Where you find the sea, where you find people they are coming here to tour, because there's a beach along the way. The place there's a palito.
Yeah.
There's a biggest large mall gateway. Okay. There's a gateway there where you get everything: shopping, clothes, bank, everything. Okay. This is the large mall. Okay. Right. There is clubs here. Mm-hmm. So if you want to go clubbing, it's 24 hours. Okay. So in that club, when you feel that you are tired, you've got the transports, different transports. There is you are requesting if you have no problem. There's a cabs. So there's a lot of things. Transport, it's running 24 hours. So I'm asking, what are some good things that are going on here in Durban? And you're telling me what's some good things for me. I want to know what's the good things for the people. For the people. Yeah. Because you keep saying you can go live at this safe place. They're building these places that you can go for. What about the local? See, people don't understand when I sit here and I say that, wow, yes, Durban, Cape Town, Johannesburg, these are nice cities, but when I'm looking at the people as a whole, those who don't have money, they can't afford to go to these places. They can't live in these places. They can't eat at these restaurants. They can't. So yes, there are buildings going on, and there are people who get jobs from these places, right? Yeah. But the jobs aren't paying all that for them to enjoy those places. Mm. So you're saying you're frustrated because what? Because you can't. I don't see as in like now. I'll put it in a way of creating the jobs. So that everyone would afford. I don't see anyone who's creating jobs here. Because right now they're keeping building something where, I'll show you the other place there. There are buildings, houses there, expensive houses. Yeah. Who's going to afford those places? People with money. You see? So I can't afford that place. Yeah. I can't afford. Because now, those places, just the land is 1.2 million. Just the land.
Yeah.
You understand? So which means no matter I can cry, I won't afford it. No matter I can go there, maybe to rent that place, I won't afford it.
Yeah.
You understand? I won't afford it. So when I'm gonna afford it? So that's why now I'm very frustrated when you ask me this question, because now even me, when I'm taking clients here, they always ask me good things. You understand? You're not the first person who are telling me that. It's because now I have to tell you a truth.
Yeah.
What's good thing from in South Africa or in Durban, they keep on telling you lies. You know?
They tell us lies.
Yeah, this is lies, man. If I can take you, maybe if I saw you when you're coming here and show you the places where you can see people, they are staying in one room. There are 4 of them.
We saw the shacks.
You know the shacks there. You know?
Yeah, saw a lot of them.
Someone who's having a money, a president, they will have 16 million in his house.
Mm.
You are the president, but you cannot finish those sheds. You want other investors to go and build it, but what about you?
Mm.
See, this is the building I'm telling you.
Yeah.
This one. They just recently opened this one.
The hotel.
This hotel here.
The Radisson.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Just recently. So who's owning it? It's not a South African. Never in the Sunday time. Never. Few South Africans owning this building.
What's the name of this area right here?
This is Umhlanga, this one. Umhlanga.
Oh, okay. That's where we were, right, babe? Okay.
This is Umhlanga. Right down there, there's Umhlanga.
Yeah.
When you're crossing the river, Umdloti.
So you're saying it's a struggle for most of the local people to try to afford because expenses and everything are getting high.
Things are getting high. You see, when you're having 1,000 rand, 1,000 rand is when you're having 1,000 rand, you want to buy a grocery. First of all, the oil. We are making the oil here, just here around the corner in Durban. We are manufacturing a petrol. But look at the petrol, how much it is.
Yeah.
Our petrol is 26 rand. But we're manufacturing just right here.
Somebody told me y'all get your oil or your fuel, petrol from Angola.
Yeah, all those things, we have it here. But now, it's a colonized. We've got everything in South Africa. We've got gold, we've got oil, we've got sugar, we've got salt, we've got everything here. It's just when you want to extend, you want to give the business out of it. Like me, this is making an example. I've got so many clients.
Yeah.
Let's say I've got a bus, a 22 seats. But at the same time, I've got maybe a quantum who's loading like 15 people. You understand? So if I want to extend the job, I'll take my car, which then it's loading how many people? About 15. And then on those 7 people, I'll get another car. Whereas I can able to take a bus.
Yeah.
You understand? So those things now, we can even have our own oil there. It's just now, you need to get a truck or maybe get a train, maybe to transport that oil, maybe to go and take that oil and come back this side. You understand? That's how expensive is it. On the road now, there's too much of trucks transporting things. You understand? Traffic in the road. I can put it maybe on the years ago, it was good, but now we can see now. Things are getting worse. Things are getting worse. If we don't have lands right now, but our father forfeit on this land. Our fathers, they die for this country. But there's someone who's coming from other country and they're sitting in our land. You understand? They can't even share even the land. You can't even share even the profits. The farmers there, they're always complaining that our fathers been killed, this and this and that. But at the end of the day, they know that they took those lands in our fathers. Now we are struggling now. We're struggling so much now. Yeah, beautiful things they can happen. Beautiful things, roads, city to be in a good condition, city or this and that. But who's giving them money? It's those people who got land, who've got money. We don't have money. We don't care about those buildings. Why don't you create jobs? Agriculture, selling, opening the market for black people, starting their own business. So that you know during the day you know that's how much I'm making. That's how it's difficult. You see, this is Umdlud, this one.
So this is another area.
Another area. This is Umhlanga. This is Umdlud.
It looks like they got some expensive buildings over there.
It's just that when you're going past it, it's just that you're gonna tell you. When you're going past, they're still building. You know, this is the land where there's even this one now. There was sugar cane here. There's sugar cane, but they will see. When you're coming here in South Africa, you will see the estates. They're building estates. Whose estate? Those estates that are coming from UK, maybe in other countries, they are building here. You understand? Who's gonna stay there? It's them. They're gonna buy this the houses inside. Who's gonna rent? It's us. Who's affording that? You see, they're building. You see
all this land.
Yeah.
This used to be sugarcane land.
Sugarcane.
Wow.
Because of sugarcane.
You see all that building, babe?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're still building in close.
And they're taking away the sugar canes over here.
Whose sugar cane is it? It's a white people. You know, they're owning the sugar.
Wow. Man, this is like a city in itself.
It's a city. You know, if I will even show you right through. Right through. See? This is the estates. They're building it. They're building spa here. This is spa.
The spa called a mall?
Yeah. Like a mall.
Like a mall. Okay, y'all call them spas.
Yeah. So showcase there's spa, there's stores.
Wow. So all that's gonna be a mall?
Yeah, this is gonna be a mall. When you're going straight with this road, there's a big spa. There's a big spa.
What's the name of it?
It's a Waterloo.
And most of the locals can't afford stuff that's inside the stores that they sell.
Who's supplying all these things? Who?
But you making money, you have a business, you're doing well for yourself, you think, than most people, right?
Okay. I'll tell you another thing. I'm making money, but at home, I'm the one who's making money. When I want to do something, I have to think for myself. It's how much I have in my pockets. My mother is a pensioner. My father is a pensioner. My 3 brothers, I'm trying them, you know, to put them in the business.
Yeah.
I've got 2 Ubers. The one, it was beyond the past. The other one now, they're just rebuilding. It's there by panel pizza.
It's that noise.
No, that's my phone.
Oh.
The one now, the one that I'm putting my brother now to work here.
Yeah.
It's not this now I wake up and my money, it's like now when they want money, it's like it's a miracle. I wake up, I work.
Yeah.
It's not this now, it's a surprise when I have money. I have to show them how I'm making money. You understand? So you cannot tell me, Nana, hey, Posse, can you give me the data? Even me, I go and ask as you can see. There's no miracle there. It's just to wake up in the morning, get the right thing. Transport, you won't go wrong in terms of transport. I've been in a transport like 20 years now. Even at home, there is even a transport at home. Still running. So it's something that people, they need it. Every day they need it. No matter you've got cars, but one of the days you don't want to drive. You need someone who's going to drive.
So you're teaching your brothers and them the business.
Exactly.
Okay, so we heard that. Shouldn't people who come and visit should know at least how some people are thinking in a country? Maybe some of those issues, maybe with the development that's happening, and some people are frustrated. Some people are saying that, you know, hey, things are getting hard. They're building these areas, taking up the land. This land we don't even own. You know, it's the Europeans that own this. Those people, these businesses coming in, they're setting up shop. A lot of them are owning these properties and stuff. Isn't that good information? Thanks a lot, Amber, for at least seeing that. I'm just sharing what are the talk on the street. You know, those who don't know about America, you know, when they say, hey, the word on the street is this, You better know the word on the street. Because if you don't know the word on the street, you can get yourself caught up in a mix. Me and my wife was in Durban, and guess what? They had we went down, what was the name of that area, babe? We went down to when the people were on strike down there. We was down at Victoria Market. This was yesterday, right? Yesterday. And cops was everywhere. And my wife was like, what's going on? What's the deal? Why is this? And a lot of the shops were closed. We were going down there because we was on a tour. We was going to go down there. He was going to take us by a shop. So the guy wanted to ask the person, they say, what's going on here? And they said, well, it's a strike. Because people, they're upset because the prices, that people go down there to shop, get their food, whatever it is down there, clothing, whatever, and prices have gone up. So he said, what happens is when people get frustrated and they get pissed off because inflation's going up everywhere. He said the people will begin to loot. So the business owners won't even open up. So you had people all on the street. The businesses are closed. The business owners are all out standing out there, and the police are all over the place. And so we're driving through and everything, and we're like, wow, they got stuff in the roads that's burning. They got sticks and woods and everything in streets. Our driver had to go around, because they put it on the streets. They trashed the streets and all that right there. There are people who are rebelling because of the fact that things are getting expensive, and they said people will begin to loot. Now you tell me that you coming in a foreigner and you don't even know the heartbeat and the frustration of a people, and you got people telling you it's beautiful and you don't even know what's really going on. You better know the word on the street. You keep playing around with somebody talking about there's a beautiful building, a beautiful neighborhood. Oh, that mountain looks pretty. And then you move your tail over here and you don't even know the word on the street. That's ridiculous. You need to know what's exactly going on with the heartbeat of the people who are the ones who aren't making the money. I can bring my black tail up in here and bring money up in here and try to hide behind four walls and just go from point A to point B and think everything is lovely. And doesn't that sound familiar of those other people who can walk and drive by hunger, drive by the naked and actually act as though everything is so perfect? But they, guess what? In their little, in their, I ain't say little, because some of them got some big compounds. Why you think they got the electric wires going around their houses? In the good areas. I find that all throughout Africa. But see, we want to sit here and play games. Talk about, go black is hating on that South Africa. No, I'm not. I'm supplying information to the diaspora that they needed to know, because I know people that don't even do their homework. Well, uproot their family and come move to an area. And when we saw that down there in Durban yesterday, people down there and the cops are all around with guns. Well, I thought it was cops, and God said, no, that's not cops. Those are security. Then he said, babe, you got a picture of the guy? I'm going to show you this picture right here. See, seeing sometimes is believing. That's why I take serious what I do. Now, you might think that I'm hating on something. No, let's tell the real story. See, there's many videos you need to go see that tells the good side. I'm telling the other side. Because I see those people who do the videos. Come on down. Come look at me, my house, my car. Look what we're eating at this fancy restaurant and all that there. When most of Black Americans won't even survive 8 months off of staying in areas like that. That's because I'm speaking to people in African America. I ain't hating on your country. I'm trying to bring a realization that, look, if you're gonna leave one burning house, you might be walking into another, and because you don't know what the word on the street is. You don't even know what's angering some people. You don't know why, like Gambia, people keep getting robbed and they doing videos talking about their house got broken in, their cell phones got stolen. They having these issues because you taking your money into a place that majority of people are poor and they see you as an opportunity. This is a Metro Police right here that was on the street. Can I slide through this? These are cops all around. Because the people are tired of, they said inflation's going up, everything is hard to get. Another police right here, vehicle, paddy wagon. Let's show you. These people on the street. Look at all them people on the street. People that are walking up and down the street. People angry. Let me get some of these other videos. You can see right here the roads where things were burning. I think we got better ones than that. But they trashed the streets. Things in the middle of the streets was wood and stuff that were burning. We should catch some that was on fire. Oh, here's some right here. Like, you can see smoke right here coming off of that. They had put stuff all in the roads. Here you go, right here. Let me do that again. You can see when I put it on live, that smoke right there. Now you tell me, you don't need to know information about that. You tell me, you come on down here and everything's peachy keen, and I shouldn't be sharing my experience, what we see. I shouldn't be reporting what I see. This ain't just point out the negative. This is what people telling. Okay, thanks, Eli. This is for people who are leaving America, who's leaving Europe, who's leaving UK, who need to understand there's not a perfect place in the world. But if you're leaving a place because of certain issues, and I'm hearing that them same issues may exist or to certain degrees, don't you think that I should be sharing people with that? Because let me tell you this right here. Because most of y'all don't understand the pains, like I said, that African Americans have gone through. People have uprooted and left. And there's that's not, I'm talking about just a small percentage, but those numbers are slowly growing. And because I have a love for my African brothers and sisters, I was born in Africa. Why not go to a place and find a country that is for you? But while I'm showing these African countries, I am making sure that I at least let people know, hey, these might be some challenges for you. I always say the people are beautiful. Most people are beautiful you come across. Good-hearted people, brothers and sisters. Africans are so caring and so giving and loving, helpful. My wife said helpful, thoughtful. Like, I get teary eyes every time I see how the love that's given. But then on the other side, piss off an African. When they're frustrated, then there are sparks that rise up. Do you really want to get caught in the mix of something that really you didn't even have a clue that was going on? Do you know that even in Africa, there are Africans that will tell you they leave the country when it's election time because they can get stirred up during elections. I happen to be in Ghana during election, and they take elections serious. And you better not be on the wrong side of voting for a different party on that day when that party's coming through, because you will get dealt with. I ain't playing with this. I don't need to show the good. There's other YouTubers showing the good. Y'all call it negative what I'm doing. I call it good. To me, I think it's positive. Information is always good information if you can utilize it to benefit off of. That's good information. Now, I ain't saying that, hey, like I said, some people don't even mind that. Hold on, I could deal with that. There's some people come from cities that are like, some people might come from Chicago, might come from LA. Those are typical cities that, might be more crime or might have more problems that people like, I ain't worried about that. But at least you know. My thing is that it's all information and it's all about love. It's all love. They got beautiful places here. You got I was in some nice hip spots the other night. We went to get dinner. Nice young spot for those. I'm like, man, I know, man, the brothers and sisters that in they mid 20s to 30s and mid 30s would like this place here. Had a DJ rocking. Let me show y'all right here. I don't know if I got a good shot of that. Dinner tonight. I mean, you got anything you want in South Africa. You got anything. Now I'm going to go ahead and play this audio here. This is a guy who's middle class. Because see, some of y'all just still not satisfied. Like, you're talking to Zimbabweans. Then I do local South Africa. You're only talking to those who are just, Uber drivers and all. Okay, well, you know what? Here you go. This is a middle class brother. This is a brother who is his business is in an investment firm. He works for an investment firm. All right, he owns him and partner our investment. He's an investment partner. So I interviewed him. I said, brother, you mind if I interview you this and that, right? We're on the plane, so you got to ignore a little bit of the noise, but you can still hear what he's got to say. Let's listen what this brother has to say, who's middle class. He said he considered himself middle class. He said it depends on the day. He said the way things are going. He said I might be out of the middle class and be in the lower class because things are definitely are going well as we see today. But let's just check this out. It's good information for y'all who's middle class and thinking that, okay, all right, he's only talking to those who are maybe don't have the money, the means to be able to live in certain areas. Okay. Let's go on to, let's go to this one right here.
Okay, all right. So you would consider yourself middle class. I consider myself middle class. Working for an investment firm. And I'm asking you, what is your perception on South Africa, the day-to-day living life, the opportunity? How is it for you?
Look, personally, it's I believe that I'm doing fairly well. However, things are not as good as what they were 10 years ago. This is obviously due to economic situations, political instability. It's only getting worse. I mean, if a person like myself that's a partner in an investment firm earning fairly well, and I feel that I'm struggling on my day-to-day basis, the price of fuel is going up every day.
Yeah.
The price of food is going up every day. Just day-by-day living is going up every day. Bond, which is your rent, is going up almost every other month. Now, if I feel that way, I can just imagine what the ordinary man, someone lesser off than me, is going through. And that's why I've the same thing that you mentioned, interviewing Uber drivers. I mean, I also supported Uber on my way here. The one guy mentioned the cost of living, and I was like, it's funny how I've actually just given up on politics, because the policies that we actually put into place are the ones that are actually living far off using our money, our state money, and we have to suffer for everything. But unfortunately, as South Africans, we're still naive. We vote emotionally. We don't vote out of for the weight of good, because of obviously for history. But back to the main issue at hand, cost of living in South Africa, it's getting worse. It's only gonna get worse. We are the last so-called third world country in Africa, the last one. If you have my opinion, 2-3 years from now, there will be no difference between us and Zimbabwe. We'll be just as worse off as any other African country.
So you said it used to be better 10 years ago.
It used to be better 10 years ago.
Why?
Well, the level of corruption was tolerable then, and now everybody's just taking for themselves. That's the first problem, the main problem of South Africa. The level of corruption. If you do business, whether you're doing it corporate, whether you're doing it with government, before you propose anything, the next individual is what's in it for me. You see, now that's where the problem comes in. It's just handing out, and whatever you hand out in terms of whatever you get in return is way less than what you put out. So the corruption is what the problem is.
Corruption. Every country I go to, everybody talks about corruption. Everybody does.
There's tolerable corruption, the way I see it. I mean, as long as the basics are met.
Yeah.
As long as the health care is up to standard, as long as the education system is up to standard. But with us, everything is just a mess.
You know, let me ask you this right here. You see, because everything is a mess. You've made it to middle class. Did your parents have money? Were you born with a silver spoon in your mouth, as we would say? Your parents had money.
Yes, my family has.
Where did they get their money from?
My dad, like I said, Venda was a homeland before he became South Africa. But he wasn't a politician, he was a minister within that homeland.
Your father was a politician within,
and then he resigned, and then he opened his first KFC in 1982. The year I was born, he passed away in 2001. Now we've got about 18 KFCs. So you get my life and the average black South African is two different things. However, I understand where they come from.
Okay, because now I know people are going to, when they hear this, they're going to be like, oh gosh, this guy here, you know, he didn't have to start with nothing. Do you think starting with nothing, you can make it to where you are? I mean, there's so many people who have nothing. Is the opportunity there for them to really work hard and get into a place of middle class?
Yeah, I do. I believe that you can start with nothing and make it where you are. I mean, my late father started with nothing and he made it where he was. So the fact that somebody's going to probably listen to this interview and say this guy started off with nothing, that's just an excuse. Yeah, we use that. Yes, starting off with nothing puts more of a disadvantage to another person that started off with something. However, I know people that started off, even richer families than mine, but they're way disadvantaged than I am at the moment because they were just spoiled. They never took initiative of what they were given from the get-go. So that's just an excuse according to me. It's easier said than done though, until you go to someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
But yes, I believe that you can start with nothing and actually make something of yourself.
What would you think that one thing would be for an individual that you think they need to have in order to make it, starting with nothing, to get where they need to be? Where do you think that one thing, or two or three things, you think they should have?
Consistency. Obviously, the average education, most people tend to want the shorter cuts, shorter routes to everything. Most people would like to take the shorter routes to everything. Yeah. But personally, I think consistency, passion, education, very important. Those kind of things will actually just...
So knowledge. People need to have knowledge to know how, which is education. And then you're saying being more consistent. You say consistency. Where people want to have everything today and not work hard.
Work hard for it. And people give up very easily. But I understand why they give up. I mean, because it's kind of difficult to actually put in your all and somebody just does nothing, but then they're actually living off a better life. But those are life challenges. Some people have it better, some people, I mean, I wish I was Prince William, I wish I was Charles, whatever, Harry, but unfortunately I'm not. But I have to go by with it and make the best I have with what I do, what I have.
Me and my wife have been talking to a lot of the local workers, and we are so surprised at the little they make out of these jobs they do, restaurants. We talked to a woman today in the airport, and she makes 0.5% of what the sales by her customers. That's half of 1% that she will make off of commission, she says. So she averages, she says, between up to 1.5 or 1,500 rand a month. But her tips bring her double that. So I was saying that we were surprised at, the money that they are being paid, like the servers at 0.5 commission on contact. Mr. Captain speaking. So we were surprised at that, the pay. We also inquired about what's the average pay of those who are, the everyday worker. What we were told is about 3,500 rand. one of the gentlemen we asked, his wife is a nurse. He said she makes about, I equated it to $1,600 US a month. I think that's
about 17,000 rand.
Yeah, I think he said about 25,000 rand, maybe. I think.
Maybe 25 before taxes.
Okay.
But she probably takes home about 18 business.
Yeah. Now you had made mention that your girlfriend is a doctor. What does a doctor make? You know, I know the specialties may be different, but what would a doctor make?
Well, she's just doing a community service, so she's done. It's been 3 years now. Obviously, first 2 years is internship, and now it's a community service. Obviously, you guys won't never meet her, but she takes home exactly 44,000. This is like the 3rd year of her being a doctor.
44,000
take home.
What's that,
Take
Dave?
home.
And then gross is about 62,000. So that's before taxes.
Okay.
But that's an entry-level doctor.
Okay.
And according to me, that's good numbers for someone that just started working 3 years ago.
How long was med school? Her med
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
And then she's got to do 2 years internship.
Yeah.
Okay, so 9 years of investing into her profession. You think that's pretty good pay for her in the medical field?
Okay, now that you put it that way, the return of you being in a university for 7 years, and fine, bursary was, school fees was via bursary.
The what?
Yeah, school fees were via the bursary. So it was not someone, the parents didn't pay for it. She studied in Cuba.
Okay. Okay. So, I'm closing up here. In your perspective of after apartheid here in South Africa, do you think things are better now? Do you think, you said you foresee the future being maybe even getting worse. But do you think it's better now than what was?
Things in terms of what, opportunities?
Yeah, I argue the case that before, us Africans have been in Africa for the beginning of times. We never needed help from anybody. We never needed civilization. We had farms, we had animals, we lived, we had trades and skills. And to live in a civilization, or what we call a development, we feel as though that we're dependent upon that system to be in a better place than what we were before. Do you think it's better where we are today than where we were before?
Well, as black people,
Okay, what now?
are we talking about as black people?
We're talking about Africans, yeah. Black.
Okay. I would say it's better because now we're more exposed to a lot of things. I mean, we are more exposed to one another in terms of the outside world. However, those that were living off our resources, I don't want to mention race, are actually still living off the very same resources because they're strategically enough assigned, we gave away our resources. And until today, we actually we don't have any use for them. We don't even have the skills for them. And that's where the white people leverage because they are more skillful than us in terms of we are the majority. We own the land, so we say. But what do we do with the land if we cannot farm the land? Zimbabwe, typical example. They took back their land. 10 years later, everything just went south because none of them could actually farm.
Well, we could farm. We've been farming tens of thousands of years.
No, you're speaking holistically as a people. Talking about the ones that have the powers that be, our politicians. They just took everything.
Yeah.
But they didn't make anything. They didn't grow than what they took.
True.
So that's what my argument is.
So what I'm hearing you saying is that this new system in place, this governmental democracy government,
It's benefiting the few.
it only benefits exactly the few.
Benefiting the few. The few that claim that they fought for this democracy. People fought for the democracy just because they never went on the newspapers or went to Robben Island, which is a prison, does that mean that the same guy doesn't deserve to actually inherit, get something in return for the land? My father didn't go to prison, so my family doesn't deserve anything about the country. It's just wrong. But anyways, it's just selfishness. The biggest problem, like I mentioned to you, we can have this kind of discussions until, sorry for the words, until Jesus Christ comes back.
Yeah.
The powers of the very same people that we put into power are the very same people that are screwing us over. The only unfortunate thing about us is we still emotionally hurt because of our past. Hence why we actually won't vote for a smarter person, because we always assume the smarter person doesn't deserve it because they had it better than the rest of us, than the majority. Hence why we're always going to vote emotionally for the ANC, not because of any other parties that actually offering a better life for all. But I know South Africans, the emotions is what the problem is. And it's time we let go about the historical emotions. We should focus on what's to come. I'm never making sense, but I'm going to feeling you understand me.
Well, I appreciate you just talking with me, and just another perception, your view, your opinion. I'm quite sure many understand. Everybody has their own story. One last question: should people come visit South Africa?
People should visit anywhere they want to. Not specifically South Africa. I mean, I would like to visit the US one day.
Okay.
So I don't. That question. I mean, that's.
I asked that question because I've been asking people here in the last 2 days to share something good about South Africa. And typically when I ask that question, they have struggled to share what the good that they see and continue to go to the struggles. So I guess you're saying, come visit South Africa, experience it.
Come visit South Africa, come experience it, learn more about my people will learn more about yours. You visiting here, my country makes money off you. No, but all in all, you can't visit South Africa. I mean, if it's the only thing I can complain about is the crime. But other than that, it's a very nice place with very beautiful people. And last I checked, we accommodate just about everyone. We still accommodating the people that put us in this mess.
That's true. You heard it here, family. All right. Thank you very much.
He said, we accommodate anybody. Matter of fact, we still accommodating those who put us in this mess. I wanted to share those two audios there because it's beautiful that, you get the perception of those people, how people think and what they believe. Everybody has their own opinions and views. He was middle class. He has his own investment firm. And, he said a lot of things. He feels like things are getting worse. And he said his father started with nothing. His father bought his first KFC in 1981 or 82. They now have 18 KFCs here in South Africa. So you can, with persistency or consistency, he said, if one would be able to have the education and those things, that people can get themselves to a middle class. And I wholeheartedly believe you work your butt off, you can be able to get to a place. But he also said that sometimes the political arena can make things harder for those who don't have. He says that he knows that he is in a different position than many people who didn't have that opportunity like he did because of his parents. So he does recognize that he can't forget those people and the struggles that maybe they go through. So at least he didn't forget really about the people who don't have. And that's my thing in this whole thing. Somebody asked in the chat, is this for people who's going to be coming to visit, or am I doing this for people to? Yes, this whole thing is not about no South Africans. It's not about browbeating and bashing anything about South Africans. This is an education for people to hear what the locals think, what's going on, what they see, what they hear. Just like brother said, and most everyone said right here, crime. He said the one thing I don't like about is crime. Is there crime everywhere? Of course. Crime is everywhere. Corruptions of governments, they're everywhere. But see, those conversations other people aren't having. They're like, ooh, it's nice here. Look at the houses and the cars that I can show you on. Y'all know it's like North Korea. Do you know North Korea won't even let Americans come in? They like not, you can't be American to come on a tour. But the tours they give people, they allow to come in the country, is a set up route. And they can only stay in a certain hotel. They only let them have access on a bus to go in, and they said that most people go on YouTube and look at it. People who's going on the North Korean tours, that they said it's like people are robotic, putting on a show and all those things there, that you can only stay in certain spots. But what I'm saying is that, for those who are wanting to come into any country around the world, I don't care what country it is, if you are relying on people because they put a video out, who even share the good, who either share the bad, and you want to make a decision off of that. I saw some people in the chat, there's like 2 people I saw that, I ain't going to South Africa. See, that right there is ignorance. Why would you, because of hearing such, that you wouldn't want to go experience for yourself? Because like I said, everybody's perceptions are different. Because you can get in where you fit in here in South Africa. If you live on top of the rack, there's a place for you. Or if you're in the middle of the rack, there's a place for you. If you're on the bottom of the rack, there's a place for you. But I have people who have children. And in this is just my opinion. This is why I said why I would not move to, if I had children, even I'm single, why would I not move to South Africa? Because what I hear when it comes to how the system is, and they say you can get jobs and you can have a degree, and they can have a white person who don't have a degree who will be your manager, who will be your supervisor, and they don't even have a degree. There are those who told me that they was a limit that they got to and they couldn't go no further because of the companies they work for and stuff. It's just that they feel, this is their opinion, that them being Black or African can only get so high in the company, depending on their job or position. This is what I'm told. I'm not making none of this up. So then my thing is that if I am bringing my children already from a burning house because of racism, and we know the inequalities, and we know that the sky is only the limit for certain few, or for only the sky's the limit for almost the mass number of people, and only a certain few can go above that. Why would I come into a place that is not giving me free liberty to go as far as I can? Thank you, Fuller. This is my opinion. This is my view. This is who I spoke to. These are the people I've heard. I've made this is why I would not, because of what, if it is such a thing that you have a limit you can go to, or this caste system that is in the mind frames of from apartheid, that there are, and nobody can lie about the caste system, that even to this day that I've interviewed people, that there are people who say that. Yeah, there's a caste system. This is the level of it. This is who I speak to today. The 2 audios I played today, They mentioned white people. I didn't mention the white people. I didn't mention inequalities. I didn't mention that they control everything. I didn't mention that they got the land. I didn't mention that they own. This was out of the 2 hours. Go back and listen to the audios. I didn't mention any of that. I said, share with me something good. Because for my child to come into a place that they might be limited or encounter even maybe a reverse or some type of other discrimination that sometimes our children might deal with in America, why would I want to place them in a place that is, in my opinion, worse? Now, I have not had an opportunity to, the one connection I thought I had to him disappeared, I guess, Sometimes people just talk and act as though they connected with people or know people, but no, I don't. He just did an interview too on the 22nd of July, Malema, and what's the name of the channel? A good name of the channel is MacG, MACG. He the 18th of July, he was interviewed, and some good information because I hadn't seen a lot of videos of him lately. But yeah, I would love to interview my brother there. I would love to interview him. Yeah. So yeah, the 2 audios that I played was just another voice from people who are here on the ground that are South Africans. One was middle class, the other one, he is a businessman. I would assume he's probably middle class because I mean he's got his 2 vehicles and Uber, and he's building, trying to get to a place, working his butt off, you know. Um, and so I wanted to share that. Let me go ahead and let some of you all come in. I'm gonna put the link here. If you want to come in, you got to show your face and talk, man to man, man to woman. Somebody said crybabies must stop. No, we got to be mature enough, y'all, just to be able to allow people to share their opinions, their views, their perception. If you want to share about South Africa or you visited South Africa, share your experience. Like I've said before, there are other YouTubers out here that you can go to and listen to. I don't hate on those brothers and sisters who got these other YouTube channels. Some doing their own business. Some are making their moves to South Africa. So why can't I have my right to talk about it in my visits when I come to South Africa, or if I go to the other 15 countries I've been showing? Because if you watch my channel, you see that, look, I don't pick one country over another as being the best. Each country I've been to has its likes and dislikes, even though I don't like those words, but they are those things that people ask me. I do consultations and I share people with my experience. I can only speak for myself. People want me to make the decision for them. No, come visit yourself. Because when you get to know for yourself and see for yourself, then you're able to make your own decision. Gather the information, put in your experience, and then you can make you a good decision. Because like I said, South Africa will be a great fit for those people out there who has not had my experience there in America. Because see, racism is very touchy to me. Because see, I'm 50, I'll be 56 on the 29th. So, I had to go through being called nigger by police officers, chased down by a gang of teenagers when I was little in the 4th grade, that they were after me and probably would have killed me back then in the 70s. I've seen the Ku Klux Klan. I've seen the billboards that set up there with the Ku Klux Klans. This is back in the 80s. The Ku Klux Klan with the white sheets, these racist people that, you know, the billboard says, join your local Ku Klux Klan, become a member. I remember those days. I remember the days of the white teachers of the schools I went to because my dad was military. We was predominantly we were in predominantly majority of white schools. The high school I went to, we only had 12 blacks went there, and it was about 400 or 500 people. It was a very small high school, but back then, that was in the 80s. I used to get called nigga all the time. I stayed in fights, got suspended several times. The principal told my mom, look, your son gets suspended one more time, he's going to get expelled. And my mama told me this right here. To prove to you, son, that nigga does not apply to a black person, the next person that calls you a nigger, say your mama. And if they don't get mad and say, my mama can't be no nigga because she ain't black, then I guess the nigga would be applied to you. Now, I don't know why my mom said it, because somebody could say that. But if they get mad, that will prove to you finally, son, that the word does not apply to you. I came off of that suspension, and guess what? The very first day back, like I said, I just get called a nigga every day. In the lunchroom, I'm sitting down at the table, and some white boy walks up to the table and says, who invited this nigga to the table? And I said, your mama. That whole cafeteria went whoop. That white boy, he came over there. He tried to jump over after me. I grabbed him, and I was up here punching him and pulling and hitting this joker right here on the ground. And then all of a sudden, of course, you know, there's going to be there. I was going to try to jump in. And it was a teacher, a monitor, to take me and grab me and pull me off of him and sling me across the cafeteria. We go to the office. Of course, they called my mom. The principal said I was expelled. My mom, she talked to me. I said, Mom, I did exactly what you told me to do. She said, did you throw the first punch? I said, no, he jumped over a table on me. She said, you ain't going nowhere. She sat there and told that principal, my son will not be expelled because the last 2 times you suspended him, you said he threw the first punch and that he had to be suspended. I grew up with racism. And I'd be damned if I want to put myself into that situation again. Is racism everywhere? Yes, but guess what? It's hard to find when you in a place when you got 99.9% Africans. That racism is not necessarily their issue. I've told people before, you can go to some African countries. I'm going to tell you what, the red carpet will be rolled out for you. Do you know how many people in some of these African countries are making some of us chiefs of villages of development and putting us in positions because we're coming with a different mindset to be able to help and build a community? How many of us are being looked upon as an asset? Yeah, sometimes those are going to try to use you for the money that you got. But what I'm saying is that even those who can do things right can also utilize your skills and you utilize theirs, and we as a people build and grow together. Those places do exist. Watch my videos. But because I am making sure from my channel and my experience that I share with people that, you know what, this is the word on the street. This is experience that people are saying. You take that piece of information, you come visit and you find out for yourself. But this is the word on the street. I have an obligation. What's up, changing the narrative?
I want to make sure I can hear you right and you can hear me. Everything's good?
I hear you perfectly fine. What's good, brother? Okay.
Well, I've been, first of all, I want to tell you about your story was great, what your mom told you to do. I like that. I like that part. But me and my wife, we've been to SA twice.
Yeah.
And we went there twice last year, and we're moving there in December.
Congratulations.
Yes, I can't hear you at all, man.
Okay. Is that your, do you have another thing on that you're listening to? And I hear an echo.
Well, I just cut my TV all the way down. I can barely hear you, but we've been to SA twice last year, man. We'll be moving in December.
Okay.
The welcome that we got there, man, was insane. We loved it. And to be honest with you, we had already moved there mentally before we even visited there.
Yeah.
So I have nothing but good things to say about the city, the people. The food was great. So I love it, man. And like I said, we moving in December.
Like I said before, for people to hear that, I'm saying congratulations to you, because my thing is that get in where you fit in that. Every place may not be conducive. My opinion, my perception is totally different than somebody else's. I like to report what my experience is, the people, what they're saying, and most of it, since I've been in South Africa, is not little I've been saying about my own opinion, but listening to the locals, and then my experience that me and my wife experienced our first 2 days here, and then I'm sharing why, but like I've said before, I believe that South Africa, could be a great place for people who have a total different outlook than what I have.
Yeah,
Most definitely. So congratulations to you and your wife. Most definitely.
I agree with you. And yeah, you interviewed my brother Assad too. I've interviewed Assad, and he's interviewed me because we got our podcast also. But yeah, man, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. And everybody's not gonna like what you say, but it needs to be heard.
Yeah, most definitely.
There's two
What's your
sides to
channel,
every
man?
story.
What's your channel?
But
What's your channel?
changing the narrative.
That's your channel, Changing the Narrative. Check him out, those folks, those right there. He's moving to South Africa, him and his wife. And I'm quite sure he can give you a plethora of information while they hit the ground, as well as Assad and what's Assad's
Adrian.
channel?
Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian. Yeah, but their channel is Assad.
Dr. Assad and Adrian.
Okay, that's not the channel. The channel, is it?
Nah, that's always the name of the channel. Dr. Assad and Adrian.
And Adrian. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
and
right.
they actually going to be there on Thursday. They moving on Thursday.
Yeah, he told me on the 28th that they're going to be here.
Yeah.
And I told him, we're supposed to hook up.
All right, brother. You take care of yourself, man. Keep up the good fight.
Hey, you too, brother. Take care.
All right.
Tumelo. Let me take you off. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, and you?
Good. What's good?
I'm back again. I've been following your live streams, your shows, catching up on some of the videos I've missed. And first of all, I'd like to apologize for all my brothers and sisters out there who have been inhospitable to a guest that I have been waiting for your arrival. I've been seeing you in Ghana, interviewing my brothers over there. Because I also follow the American news and everything. I can see it's bad out there, the police, that side, I prefer my police this side because, as you can also attest. So you mentioned something about saying positive things about, South Africa. That's the number one. My police.
Yeah.
Over and above that, I'm disheartened by the what people are putting at you. The hate, everything, because they don't understand where you're coming from. They don't understand your perspective, as you always emphasize, because you come from a hostile environment, an environment that you cannot fully claim as home, even though that's your home, in inverted commas. And you're always reminded by the title that you are described as, which is race. You are called an African American, which always reminds you that, no, brother, you don't belong. So it becomes difficult for you to claim America as your own, because you're always reminded that you came through a boat here. Who else came, who was native to America? It was the Native Americans, but the white people who don't have a prefix, so to speak, claim America as their own, and they are the ones that, kind of make one feel, not at home. So I want to welcome you. You are home. We all different, you know, even in a family, you know, we're not all gonna get along as siblings, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles. So do not take this to heart, this backlash and everything, you know, it's just, you know, us being us as a family. So I appreciate you. I just wanted to come on and show you a lot of love. I like your perspective about the the monkeys, you know, the territory, you know, how the system per se has made monkeys adapt, you know, to what their reality is right now. And that was a great parallel observation because somewhere, somehow, we no longer doing what is natural to us or what we know, but we're just out here surviving, you know, we're out here surviving. So with that hierarchy, there's always going to be those who don't want you to be in the same level, because as the hierarchy goes, the smaller or it decreases. So it can't be like this. It always has to be like this. So those who are at the top will always come and bash us down. So I want you to keep on ascending spiritually, and make sure that there are a lot of people like me who are out there rooting for you. And please continue. Do not be disheartened. You are welcome to go anywhere, show any corner. If there's death, we must make sure that it is exposed so that we can deal with it. How else are we going to deal with? Well, you see, so in a nutshell, I applaud you. Thank you very much. God bless you. Much love. You are in Africa.
Tumelo, let me say this to you, brother. You are a real man, because for you to apologize as well as to recognize my efforts and coming with a spirit today different than the other day, you know, you was bringing that heat to me, you know what I'm saying? Man, you know, that's what you call a man, you know. And if we can stand up and like I said, respect one another in their own opinions or perceptions, and stop trying to destroy each other, this and that, man, we will be a powerful force.
That's right.
You know, if we really, if when people know who you are, I tell people this right here, when they know, when people see this man know who he is,
That's
you
right.
get so much respect. You know, I'm gonna show you this right here, man. I'm gonna show you this right here. Make sure I don't. And I'm gonna show y'all the video. I'm gonna record this. Me and my wife came in this hotel today, right?
Yeah.
And this is on the wall in the tub area. And this is supposed to be in, you know, Africa.
Yeah.
And they got, you know, they talk about this Africa love and that Africa this and that. And I called downstairs and I said, why is it that, you know, we see these artworks and stuff, and you know, you see, some statues of African art, but then I come in my room and I have a European woman on the wall in the bathroom.
That's disturbing.
Do you know what they did? The girl laughed. She said, well, all the rooms have them same exact paintings. And I was like, but it's what is the hell? So we go downstairs and the woman said, was you called down, right? I said, yeah. So she said, the manager is going to change out the picture. So the manager came over, who was a white guy. And he said, sir, did you were the one who was, you know, you had made a complaint about the picture. I said it's an observation, and it's not like I'm upset or anything, but I'm confused here because, you know, I'm seeing this African artwork and all that right there, and you know, and my thing is that, you know, Even this place is owned by an African.
That's right.
Why is that in no, they didn't say it was. No, it's not. This is European. This is European. I think most of his art is African, but he said, I'm going to have the maintenance come by and change out that picture tomorrow morning and put a different picture up. He said, it's all secured on the wall, so we have to have maintenance come and take it down. I said, well, I appreciate that. You see the power we have. If I'm spending my money, we have a voice. And I'm sitting here telling the white guy, this is a young white guy. I can see why. Now, see, this, how old do you think he was, babe? She got her headphones in her ear. This young guy was probably in his 20s. And I know he's younger than them staff of the sisters that was at the desk, which I was told that, yeah, sometimes in these positions that, you know, you can have people who are younger than you, don't even have degrees, and you got a degree, whatever, and yet they the ones managers. But this guy comes up to me and said, we want to make sure that you're happy here, and I'm going to send the maintenance in tomorrow. We'll change out that picture and put in another picture, this and that. Okay, thank you. See, our family need to understand this, and this is what I've been trying to do while I'm here in Africa. It's like we got to wake up to something. I'm not trying to be this revolutionary person to start this any mess at all.
You are.
I'm provoking thought. I'm provoking
picture,
thought.
That's the first. That's where it starts, with that picture.
It starts with the picture, because my thing is this right here. Like, hold up, you know. I had we were out with an associates tonight, and they were looking for property here in South Africa. And they said they went to this one project, and, you know, they're building these buildings, and they wind up having pictures of the people. And it's about how many percentage? It's like 70-80% of the pictures were all Europeans. But most of the people that were looking at the properties were Africans. And so he said, he asked the woman about, you know, he asked one of the sisters, you know, what's up with the picture with all the Europeans when it's Africans, this and that? Said, well, you know, this is European owned, this and that. Well, yeah, you know what? We need to wake up sometimes the European and let them know.
Let me give you my perspective.
Yeah.
What is happening is, we have a saying here which we appropriated from you guys. It's called cash is king. So one thing that we have to remember is that these hotels are owned by Europeans.
Yeah.
So when Europeans come to Africa, they wanna have, you know, that sense of home, because somehow it's like, no, if you go to an Italian restaurant in America, you won't find American stuff in an Italian restaurant.
Mm-hmm,
so why is it in a European owned hotel, restaurant, whatever it may be, that we can't see our own culture in what we own away from home? It's like in Chinatown. You go to Chinatown, you find everything in Chinatown is Chinese. So because these hotels, most of us, we won't even dream of going there. The people who spend their money in those hotels are people of European descent. So it gives them a sense of home. It gives them a sense of, I know I'm justifying somehow. I know
you're right.
I'm just giving you my perspective. And
yeah,
it makes a lot of sense, because who's spending the money in those places gets to say what happens in those spaces. So there's not a lot of Africans in those places. So who cares?
But here's the crazy thing.
We're not even gonna see pictures. That's a disturbing picture, by the way.
But here's the interesting thing. Everything on the outside of the room is African art. It's African art. It's African statues.
What's going on here?
Yeah, and then you come in the room, and then you have that I showed you, and then you got this right, which I don't mind this right here. Look,
it's like a culture shock or something.
You got the European who's trying to rob and steal out of a safe. I don't mind that, you know. Hey, there's a lot of thieves out there that
that's
definitely
right.
look like that.
yeah, that's how we took it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so my whole point with our brothers and sisters, my information, like I said, man, first let me say again to you, you've gained a lot of respect from me from just calling in and sharing and
Means a lot.
at least clearing the air up from our last interview that we did. That's a man move.
Yeah,
That's a
thanks a
man
lot.
move.
Means a lot coming from you.
Yes, and I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, man, the I wish the best for you in all that you do, and I believe that
Probably gonna get
you know,
cancelled. It's
uh
over for me.
the what?
I'm probably gonna get cancelled now. It's over for me. So
What you mean
I'm most
cancel?
probably,
In what way?
the everybody who's been bashing you is most probably gunning for me now. So yeah, thanks for the luck. I'll need
Hey,
it.
man, you know what, brother? I had to learn this right here, man. When you speak truth, people they bash you,
Yeah,
and guess what? Even if you're trying to help people, they bash you. You love on people, they bash you. You know,
that's right.
it it's just the nature of how it is, man. There's
Yeah,
not a person can be ever loved totally by everybody. And then there are those who talk about, I'm unsubscribing. Good. I need about 30 to
good
50 more
riddance.
thousand people to unsubscribe from me. I'm for real. Because they're not even watching the videos. Think I
Yeah,
care
yeah.
about life is beyond a subscription. Goodness
Yeah.
gracious. So anyway, brother, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna bring in another guest, man. You have a glorious night.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care. King, I think your connection is very short. Yeah, I can't hear you. Your connection is not good at all. Yeah, family. I got 15 more minutes and then I'll be off of here. I'm going to paste put the link back in. Come talk with me. What country you want to know about? What country that you feel as though that is for you? Share with the people. You South African, you want to share something good about your country? And I've said this. Where is my South African brother sister who was over here giving me heat? Please call in so you can share the goodness of South Africa, the things that people who I've been interviewing maybe forgot to mention or overlook or don't even know. The link is in the chat right now. Please share. Any questions you got? I'm not going to even charge consultations. If you want to know about the travels of Africa or what country or whatever it is, hey, it is on you to call in and I'll provide those answers. Go Black tells you to live in forest yet enjoy nicer parts of South Africa and comparing about complaining about wall prints. You see, Starving Marvin, there you go. You see, we always have those who hate. He missed the greatest point that I was trying to show. You got a voice. And check it out, because what our brother was saying was that, cash is king. When we get to a place to realize when all of our money is the king and all of our money together is powerful, then that's when things begin to move as well. Most definitely. Uh-oh, we got the THC in the house. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Go Black
Because
Africa.
what our brother was saying was that cash. Hey, you got another thing. I gotta get to a place to realize when
Let me get
you
the
got
echo
two
off.
things
I'm
open.
sorry.
Yeah. What's good with your
Okay.
THC?
Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What's good, man? What's good going on in the Gambia, brother? What you like, man?
The Gambia? Yeah, I'm in
what's
the
good with
Gambia.
you?
I'm
Yeah,
good. It's
brother,
been
sister.
raining out here, storming. Storming's almost it's been done though. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? You know, just wanted to share a story with you. I can hardly hear you, but that's fine. You know, I'm just gonna get through it. I was a young airman in the military, man, early '90s, and I had to work with this civil servant one time, a civilian guy, older guy, looked like he was in his 50s, 60s or something, and he just comes up with some stupid conversations in China, you know, and like he trying to irritate the brothers there, you know, the other Air Force brothers, you know, but he talked about South Africa a lot. And he always says that the Europeans were in South Africa before the Africans were in South Africa, and they fighting over land that's not theirs. It's not even theirs. It belongs to the European. And that's one thing he said that really ticked me off a lot. And then he said this, whenever you go to a hotel, he's on a TDY or a hotel, whatever. He always find a black woman, a black maid to sleep with, you know, wherever he go, he find a black woman, you know, who's a housekeeper or whatever, a hotel worker to sleep with. And so for me, you know, you have to grow up, you know, young brother coming from Long Beach, whatever, and I'm going to, you know, escaping the crack epidemic and gang banging and all that, and then you go to the military and you forced to be around some racists and bigots who talk freely like that, and there's nothing you can do about it because they're civilians, civil service workers, whatnot. I think he was retired military and he did civil service. But the thing about it is that that's why I really had no love to try to go to South Africa. I live in the Gambia. I'm in the Gambia. I've been to East Africa, been in all the places. But for me, it's like going from from America, which is so beautiful. You have all these type of, you know, infrastructure.
Oh, we lost him, I think. Come on in, Benny. I think he might be a minute or so probably coming back. Go ahead.
How you doing? How you doing, man? Hey, I'm ecstatic to even be on a stage with you, brother. I listen to a lot of your content, man. I love what you're doing, man. I'm super encouraged by the content. You're rewriting the narrative every YouTube post of what it looks like to be back at home, man. I'll let this brother continue since he hopped back on.
THC. Hold 1 second. You unmute yourself. No, I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you. No. No, I can't hear you. Try to call back in, brother. Try to call back in.
But yeah, man, like I was saying, you're just rewriting the narrative of what it means to be back home, man. I'm not in the motherland yet. I have yet to get there, but I promise as soon as I get to the motherland, I'm gonna kiss that African soil. I promise you. I'm born and raised in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
I'll be 33 in August next month. And, between listening to you, you know, Walter Maya, Tayo Aino, the King Ganda. I listen to King Ganda. I listen to all y'all faithfully, man. And man, I was just watching Walter Maya today, how he was showing Zimbabwe. And I'm like, man, I didn't even know Zimbabwe, like, it is beautiful. It is so beautiful in Zimbabwe. I'm just studying different countries, which ones I definitely want to, you know, at the very least visit. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, where I want to actually take root and probably start a business in. But it's so many countries: Uganda, Zimbabwe, Gambia, Namibia, Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania.
54 countries.
It's so many countries. It's like, So, but I mean, it's all encouraging too. Kenya, it's like, man, like just looking at so many countries that you can really, just, you know, um, go back home to and start something new, man. Get away from, a lot of the ills that that we face back in America, and to take what we know in America back to the motherland. I was just watching. I had posted something today. Terrence Howard, the actor, how before acting he went to school for like engineering, and I didn't even know that. And
Mhm.
he's talking with the governments about how to use hydrogen as some type of way for military and stuff like that. I'm like, man, that is beautiful to see him, take his knowledge and his expertise that he learned from over here, and network in Africa and stuff like that. So, man, I just salute you. I'm rooting for you back here in America, man. I can't wait to get over there, man. Like I said, I see that that there's a Black Star Fest, I think in January in Ghana. I think it's a I had posted it on my Facebook. I gotta check
Okay.
it again.
Okay.
In
Okay.
Ghana, I think it's a place that's called Black Star something, and it's a Black Star Fest, and
Okay.
it looks lit, man. I mean, of course it's a lot of millennials, and it looks like everybody's going to really, have fun and party up and stuff like that. They say they seat like 38,000,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, but yeah, it's just they're talking about networking as well, meeting up, but it definitely look like they're gonna party hard. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the information, brother. I'm gonna
Yes,
pass
sir.
the mic on to our next guest, but hey, man, you take care and salute to you too as well.
God bless.
Hey, but God bless you too, brother. All right, Zeke 81. What's happening, my brother?
How's it going, man?
Hey, it's going. It's going.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm just thought I was saying that I appreciate all the information that you put out there. You
I
reached
appreciate.
a young brother way out here in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. So, and
Okay.
really,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say I've been to South Africa for like 2 months. I stayed two
Mhm.
months in South Africa. So, I mean, I guess when you hear from American standpoint, when you say, "Oh, it's like America," when I went there for 2 months, I didn't get that vibe. I mean, I understand far as who owns what, but just the vibe of I done been standing in the middle streets of North Carolina, been said, "Get out the middle of the road, nigga." I
Mhm.
done had that happen to me before personally. And when I was there, I didn't. I walked. I met a young lady. She amazing. We've been knowing each other now for like a year or so. So she keeps me informed on everything that's going on there in South Africa. I plan on coming back there. I wanted to come next month, but trying to get some stuff done. Plan on starting a business there is also. But I don't get that vibe. I don't get that tension. That when I walk in somewhere and that I'm supposed to be in here. I don't like your spidey sense is tingling. I mean, yeah, I've been to some stores where owned by Indian or something like that, and you can just tell how they sit there with their arms folded, watching Chinese, and they just sitting there like they going over like you in a prison or something. I didn't like that, but overall, the feeling that I got, I felt at home. Really, honestly. I mean, I'm guessing, as they say, the earth is your turf. I mean, no matter where you go, you can make it yours. I mean, I don't know. I might be jaded. It was in my honeymoon stage because that was my first time. My first time out of the country was straight to South Africa. I don't know why, what push me there. It's just maybe just go to Africa, go to Africa. Then I guess maybe because I didn't hear too many YouTubers speaking on South Africa like that. So it's kind of like, let me go somewhere ain't too many people speaking about. Because I watched
Mhm.
all your videos from Kenya, this place, that place, and I'm like, let me go here and just see, touch ground there and see. I mean, I met amazing people from my girl family. Everybody embraced me to the point it feels these are South African people. So embrace me like to the point that I'm feeling uncomfortable. Like we don't do this in America. You calling and talking to me, I don't I don't really know you. How's it going? And this and that. It's like welcome, come. Just first day they met, we do a bride and everybody around. Yeah, to that point it felt like America where you can sit around and listen and talk. But I think just what's going on is from talking to her and we talk about because every time we watch it live, we and her get off the phone and start talking about like, oh, this and that I didn't feel. It's like it's like you say, it's a conversational starter for sure. It's there's me and her like, oh, why you do this and that and that. But then me being American, it's like some of the stuff they ain't. It sound like you taking a shot. I don't. It's like me. I'm American. I understand where you're coming from with it. But I'm just saying, in their eyes, it may be like, why you saying this about Why you saying this about South Africa? It ain't like that. It ain't like that. But in my mind, also, it's like I'm like it ain't. It's like America, but it's not America. Probably from
Mhm.
all the other behind the scenes stuff, yeah. But just far as being on the land, walking amongst the people, I done been and I traveled just like you're doing. I done been to Joburg, Durban, all all over the place in just them 2 months. But I spent a whole month in Joburg, just walking the streets and really, I'm not on YouTube and then so it just was a intimate thing, and I felt it was amazing to go somewhere. I mean, it's amazing to go somewhere and this number of black people. Really, they treat you the best, the best treatment I have ever had. Because I can go here in America and like amongst other black people, and it's like, yeah, what? I ordered some food a while ago. Is yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, what is this? This is nonsense. But I'm just
Mhm.
saying, I get where you're coming from, but I guess it's the way you packaging it. It's like it's not like I'm gonna put the medicine in the candy or the cereal or the whatever, and
I'm
it's
giving it
like,
to you raw. I'm
yeah,
giving it to you raw.
it's a tidal wave at one time, and it's like, what? Because I've been looking forward to the content of you saying, oh, I'm like he coming to South Africa. I can't wait to hear what he say, and then when you start like, oh. Uh,
Guess he froze up.
people kind of, if you can get back, 'cause I kind of noticed you veering away from the content like you were giving other countries, like physically sitting down with people and talking to people. And it's like, hmm, that's probably what the people need to see these people, like you'll say, call in and show your face. It's like, it's cool with the video, the voice things, and then go back to what. But I guess just to get back to I don't know, I guess it's missing that for me in a way. That in person, you on the street. I understand you might be on vacation trying to enjoy yourself, but just I guess seeing you on the street instead of just me hop on live and let me talk about South Africa. I
Hey
guess that what
man,
they
look, let me
kind of
tell you. I appreciate what you're saying, Zeke. Definitely, I appreciate it, man. And like I
yeah.
said before, you've been here, so you know how it is for you. And like I said, my thing is, believe me, if I can get everybody on a video, I would do it. I ain't scared of confronting anybody. I'm the type of man that can strike and have a conversation with a stranger in a minute. That's why I do what I do. But
Mm,
there are people who rather stay off of the video, and are those who rather just be audio record. And sometimes um, because some people say they camera shy. Some say, nah, what I got to say, I don't want nobody seeing who I am, whatever this is. And I understand backlashes and all that right there. So, people got to realize, if you think you could do better than what I'm doing for those people, not talking about you, but I challenge everybody, go get your YouTube channel and show your country. Then that's what I tell them, because there's only less than 1% of people who really disagree with me. I mean, yeah, you might have. I got 500 people right now. Well, it might be 7 people who might say, "Oh, well, you ain't knowing South Africa," when they haven't watched the whole video from when I started this video, which has been 2 hours now, and all the way into where we are now today. I mean, to this moment. But let me pass the mic on to Versus Music TV, brother. I appreciate your kind words. I
All right.
appreciate your critiques. I'm man enough to handle it. That's why I'm like, hey, let's have a man-to-man conversation, because I will listen to what people have to say, whether it's
Oh yeah.
good, bad, or indifferent. And then I have to look back and say, okay, all right, they're making some points here. Let me now do a spin on how I'm approaching people and say, what you got good to say? What's there people need to know about your country? Whatever. So I appreciate that, Z.
All right, for sure, for sure.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
brother. Take care. Come on in there, Versus. Unmute yourself. Okay, you unmuted. I muted you. Unmute you. Good. What's up, brother?
My name's Gusto, man. Everybody calls me Gusto. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, but I'm actually in Ghana right now. So I deal with music. I'm a music administrator, and I've been in Ghana for like maybe about 10 months now. You know what I mean? I left right when they started doing all this COVID stuff in New York City. That's where I'm from. But yeah, I called in because I share a similar sentiment in regards to the bathroom. In Ghana, I stayed in a hotel and they had like a tile. It was an actual tile in the bathroom. It had the white woman in there. So, I went in this room, I went to take a shower, and I was like, yo, something ain't right here. I wasn't really feeling it, you know what I mean? So I asked for another room, and when they switched me to the other room had another white lady towel in there. So it wasn't like a picture like you had that I could just take the picture out. It was just a real towel, you know what I'm saying? It was funny to me because it was like telling, you know what I'm saying? It was one of them Africa things, coming from the US, seeing that. But it was weird to me. So I had to hit you up in regards to that. But besides that, I love what you're doing. The message that you're spreading. South Africa wasn't a place that I was really familiar with going to, but after kind of watching your channel, it's somewhere that I would want to go and visit. Not probably live because like they say, it's a lot of Mazungas out there and stuff like that. And coming from the West, coming from like New York, East Coast, where I'm from, police, we don't want no more part of that. We good on that. We good on that.
Yeah.
We good on that. But yeah, I want to thank you, for doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people up here, it's necessary. You know what I'm saying, brother? And you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
Fighting that good fight. All
Appreciate it, brother. Will you be strong there in Ghana, brother? Hey, and I appreciate your kind words and all, man. And peace and blessings to you, man.
You're ready. Bless up.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right.
Yeah, family, I'm going to come to a close, but let me say this right here. Life is what it brings you, and life is what you create. And my thing is that, like our brother was saying, about the towels of the white woman that's on the wall. My because I showed the video, I just showed a picture that that I had made a call down. Why is there, European woman in the bedroom on the wall picture when we are in this African country where all the other African work in the building is all African, but when I come into my bedroom, I got this woman half naked in my bathroom. Where's the African at? I mean, why is a European? So, and I know that, this is a European hotel that we're staying in, and typically we shoot for places that are definitely from Africans. And my thing is that, but we have a voice though, and we have a voice that if I'm paying money and all that right there, and then you claim that this is supposed to be you feel uncomfortable or whatever it might be, you're going to take care of that, then do. And that's what they promised. They're going to remove the painting and put on an African painting. You know, some people will get upset over that. Go black, maybe, you know, he was wrong for this and that. But my thing is this right here. Why not? And we should be a voice for one another in the things. You know, tonight I was at a restaurant, and the brother, when they came and brought our food to our table, he said, "Bon appetit." I said, "Excuse me, brother. How would you say that in your African language? Where are you from?" He told me, and I said, "How do you say, you know, bon appetit, but in an African language?" So he said, and he said it. I can't remember what he said. And he said it. And I said, "Well, thank you, brother." Because that was owned by an African. That restaurant was owned by an African. But it was a nice restaurant from, I was told that it was, they own, African owned that restaurant. I'm talking top restaurant. But to say the French were bon appetit, can you give me the African language? I mean, we are losing who we are. And, you know, I'm African. I don't need to hear French. You know, we was in one place. My wife said, no, I think you were saying about Africa. Who said that? What's her name? Said African music. They don't even play African music. Yeah, it was her. Huh? Yeah. It was in the setting. It's like, wow, they're playing American music. Man, what a great opportunity to play some great African music. Because I know we can hit on them drums and the chords and the guitars and the string instruments and all that. And I'm telling you, ain't nothing more beautiful to me than African music. But there again, when we are trying to be like the West, we bring it all in and we forget and lose who we are. And so my thing is that, you know, why can't we be who we are? Why is it that we don't like what we are and represent and where we come from? Why, if somebody point out something that may not be good, they will defend it and not realize that it might be for the betterment? You know, that interview that Julius Malema was on, go to this YouTube channel I went to, is Mac G, and he was interviewed July the 18th. And I've watched a lot of his videos and stuff like that. And some people, you know, most people like him, some people don't like him. That's just the way it is. But he touched on some stuff. And he was saying it's going to take the youth to change up a lot of things that are going on. And he said that even though people rip him apart, he said, man, look, people don't talk about Mandela when Mandela would come into the house of the government and, you know, about to start fights because he was a boxer. You know, he would be ready to fight. You know, they wouldn't talk. And he mentioned like 4 other African brothers that were here. They said, they don't tell you about when this person here and this person there and these people here, that these guys here were way rough than I was. He sits there and he explains this whole thing and how it used to be. These jokers didn't take no joke. They didn't take no mess. And yet now we get to a place now that people are just comfortable. And yet we this is what we do. Then we whisper, and then we become zip lip, and then we become complacent, and then we become docile. Then we become a people that non-exist. And then we walk around and we are like now zombies controlled by a system that has kept us stifled because we won't even speak up for what is right. I will never forget a video. I'll never forget a video I saw, and this video was years ago. I think this video probably was 20 something years ago. And this white guy he said when he was growing up and he came through the civil rights era. And he said, I remember when Rosa Parks didn't move to the back of the bus. And he said, when she did that, and the black people stopped riding the buses because of that, he said, I have said in myself, it is about time they started to speak. He said, I was waiting for them to start to speak. When was they going to say something? When were they going to do something? And he felt like it ain't up to me. It's up to them. Because that whole bus, and then they boycotted the bus, and it changed the whole thing. Why? Because of money. We're some of the biggest consumers. Come on now, y'all. If it's 80% of Africans that are in South Africa, 90% in most African countries, and that we complain about European businesses coming in and we are just working there and all right there, just imagine if we stopped for 2 months of work. We all know how to survive. That's one thing I love about us, brothers and sisters. We have been through everything they've thrown at us. Diseases and AIDS been pushed in here in Africa, all these Ebolas and these other things that have been, the sanctions of governments to try to cripple countries and try to freeze up a country to bow their knees down, the coups that were set that destroyed a lot of our Pan-African presidents in Africa. In America, we've been through slavery, and we've been through the Jim Crow laws, and we've been through these systems and programs that have breaking families. Everything has been thrown at us, and we're still survivors. And all we got to do is open our mouth and stop spending money. Consumerism is what kills us. We are a people who like to spend money. And if we stopped for 2 months in your neighborhoods, in your villages, in your townships, for those who's disrespecting you, who don't show you no love, I ain't saying that you gotta hate on people, but if somebody's like like in America, when the Asian man, the China man, they disrespect Black women and Black people in the neighborhoods, the Indians and those who disrespect and throw your food at you when you in convenience stores or tell you to get out. If we just shut down for 2 months, they're going out of business. They got overhead to pay. But we like to spend. Because the brother was telling me, it was like, yeah, these big businesses are right there, cash is king. And so, that's what, exactly. Boycott. You boycott something, I guarantee you. 2 months, whatever, I guarantee you're going to see some change. Why? You're hitting people's pockets. I'm just saying. And if then we understand we got the power, that's when then things begin to change. Family, it's been precious. It's been great. It's been awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you all. And there again, I did a couple of audios. Go back, listen to the audios of some South Africans sharing their views and their opinions. But I still say, you can come here and enjoy South Africa. People are awesome. There's some things that I believe that are, that you may not feel comfortable in. There's some people that are going to be like, that don't even bother with that. I ain't tripping over that. But I got some great stuff I'm going to start doing tomorrow. I'm going to do a video or 2 tomorrow. And I am going to be trying to interview some Europeans, some Chinamen, and some of those are Indian. I want to hear from them too, on their perspective. Because y'all know Indians were slaves here too. Indians were slaves. They were brought here in slavery to do the sugar cane. And the Malaysian people were over in Cape Town over there, slaves over there. I'd like to hear from them too. Mix it up. This is your man, not your boy. Go Black too. Africa. Peace out, family. Good night.